Hello everybody and welcome to another third-party review. So I'm taking a look at Alberich. He is part of the Unique Toys line. He is O-02. Of course, 01 being Troll. And speak of the devil and he will arrive. Here is Troll. Obviously this is the Unique Toys stroke DX-9 take on the Transformers Abominus. And I'm really liking what they're doing so far. I absolutely love Troll. He was a huge step forward for Unique Toys in terms of engineering, in terms of build quality, and I was really genuinely impressed. And now they have given us Alberich, which is their take on a Ripper Snapper. And again, very, very pleased. It's the same sort of build quality as we got with Troll. No huge improvements on that, but I think they've actually found kind of their plastic and their manufacturing, and it all seems to be coming together, and it does really, really work. The colours are a little bit more white than they originally teased. I think some of the original shots looked very, very grey, but I'm really, really happy with the overall colour. It's come out really, really nice. Of course, we get a hand. This is the first look at one of the hands. There we go. Really, really good hands. As you can see, this is going to be the connection peg. So we're going to have rotation there, are we? Yep, that's going to rotate. Oh, that's very, very tight. And we've got rotation on the thumb there, like so. And you've got all these fingers are individually articulated, and they all bend at a single point as well. It's a really, really nice looking hand. Really, really good. Very pleasant. Yes. Fortunately, there is nowhere that I have found on him in his bot or Dino Shark Creature mode, the Beast Terracon mode. There's nowhere to put the hand. With Troll, obviously, we got to store the foot. It managed to split into the guns and then store on the back. But I haven't found a way of adding it to him yet. That's not to say that it doesn't add to him. Bear in mind, this is a test shot. It's a pre-production release, and we don't get any instructions with this. Basically, we get sent the figure to give our opinions on, and yeah, that's about it. We don't get any instructions, so we have to figure out the transformation for ourselves. So there may be a way of attaching it to it, but I haven't found that out yet. As you can see, he does come with guns. These just peg in for storage on the back there, which is where I store him when he's in his Terracon mode. And they just peg in nicely on his hands. I like to have the arrow facing outwards. It doesn't matter, it's completely your preference. But I like to have that pop into his hand like so. And pop in like so. Taking a look around him at a 360. He looks so good, doesn't he? Yes, okay, he does have a huge shark thing on his back, but I actually think that's acceptable kibble due to how he looked in the show and the cartoon and the comics. I think that actually looks incredibly good. It's still very compact, and obviously it will all expand out when we transform him. He actually improves slightly on Troll for his articulation. Now, I don't know whether it was fluke, but due to the way he transforms, we actually gain ankle pivots for this guy, and that makes such a difference when we pose him. He can get that really, really deep, wide stance. I love the simplistic paint apps on this. They haven't gone overboard. There's just a few highlights, like they've highlighted with the purples and the yellows along the legs. The yellow is really, really nice and bold on that face. Along the back there, just the silver along the back of the legs. It just kind of brings alive that white. And I love that same purple on the chest. Very, very similar purple to what they used with Troll. Now, I never owned an original Abominus when I was a kid. It was a little bit too expensive for my mum and dad, which is fair enough. Transformers weren't ever really that cheap. But I recently managed to acquire this somewhat colourful version of Abominus. Okay, yes, I know the colours are completely wacky and out there, but the moulds are the same, and you can see where they've drawn their inspiration for these guys. I mean, The similarities are still there. I really like what they've done with it. But these guys are Unique Toys, DX-9, whatever you want to call them. They are still one of the most improved third parties of 2014. Here he is for a quick scale comparison with Classics and, of course, Combiner Wars Prime. He is a good Voyager style and sized figure. He's going to fit in really well with your Classics collection. Some people are saying, is he kind of masterpiece? His aesthetics scream Classics, IDW, kind of that sort of line to me. Yes, he's probably a good scale with your masterpiece, but just his aesthetics, he's just more of that kind of anime-esque, kind of cartoonish look to him, as opposed to the more realistic look of the masterpiece. But for those who are insistent on having him in their masterpiece collection, he does fit. I mean, size-wise, he scales perfectly. Now, I touched briefly on his articulation earlier on. Let's just cover exactly what he has. Now, he does not have a ball joint on the head. He just has a swivel left and right. And he does have an up and down motion, but that's where the head moves and opens up to reveal the combiner port. The arms are on a lovely, lovely clicking joint. Full motion there. Can rotate them up and down. They have an upper bicep swivel. Again, extremely tight joint, but not as tight as any fear there of me breaking it. It's robust and yeah, it's strong. It's a really strong joint. You've got a nice deep double joint on the elbow. The wrists unfortunately do not rotate, but they do swivel up and down. That's part of the transformation. Come round to the waist. Again, like I said with Troll, I thought Troll didn't have a waist pivot, but he does. With like with Troll, Alberich's is lower. I thought this bit here would swivel, but Alberich's actually below there, and it swivels really, really nicely. There's a good range of movement there, so you can get some cracking poses. The thighs move up that far, and they move back that far. You do hit the tail there. You've got a rotation at the upper thigh. Obviously that comes out nicely, so you can get some really good sitting poses. You've got a nice deep joint for the knee there. And like I mentioned earlier on, these sections here transform. So we do have a nice pivot there on the feet. And unfortunately the toe doesn't go up, but it does go down. And we also have movement on the heel spur as well. So when we do move the foot out, we can adjust the heel spur accordingly to counterbalance it. So, I mean, that's a fair amount of articulation there. Yes, there are figures out there with a little bit more articulation, but this really, really works, and there's nothing there to stop us getting him in some amazing poses. Right, let's get Alberich transformed. Let's pop his guns out of his hands. You can put them up here for storage now. I just think they somewhat get in the way when you're kind of manoeuvring all this around, so I like to put them out to one side. First thing we're going to do, we're going to start off by turning his head round, and the head itself is going to stay where it is, but this whole back section is going to move. Come down to the legs. You want to fold his toes in, like so. Flip in the heel spurs. Fold this toe in here, and flip in this heel spur, like so. And you want to come around to this front section. This front section is going to unpeg. We're going to pop that out, like so. You want to pull that out of the way for now. Pop that one out, and pull it out of the way. Come up to these arms, and where this shoulder joint is, you want to just apply pressure behind the shoulder joint, and you'll pop this peg out here. Now, it's a very robust peg. I've been playing this for a couple of days now, and it doesn't affect anything there. There's no stress marks on the peg at all. So I first had my reservations thinking, oh, that's really tight on there, but no, it's all good. What you need to do, you need to pull this section down, and you just need to make sure it's clear of this hip joint. So we'll do the same with this side. Pop that out. Make sure it's clear of that hip joint, and now that it's clear, you can now collapse this body section. Like so. Did you hear that? That clicked in just behind there, pegging into the front of the chest, and we can now bring that head down like so. Fantastic. Right, your next step is to come around to these legs, and you need to collapse them. There's a rocking hinge in there, and the way you need to collapse it, you need to just fold it back on itself, apply pressure just at the bottom of the hinge, so you can push it into the leg. And you need to get it so this black piece here remains facing upwards. That's the only way you'll get clearance on these legs. So remember, rock it back, up, and rock. Come on. There is a knack to it, I'm sure, but you just need to push underneath the hinge with your finger, so that way it will rock back in like so. There we go, we're in. We're cooking on gas. At this point you can clip those legs together, and they are going to form the back section of the shark, like so. Come around to this tail, you want to pull that out, and that fully extends. That comes all the way around, and if you look underneath here, there's these two tabs in what were the feet. That's going to plug in there like so. And you can now fold back these sections here, and they're going to seal up the bottom section of the shark, hiding off those legs. With these sections fully extended, you can rock this section back and plug that in. So we'll do the same with this side. Remember, you have to have this black section fully extended out, and that then rocks in like so. You now bring the leg down, rotate it at what was the upper bicep, and with this fist you want to flip open this section at the back of the leg, fold the hand in, very, very tight joints, and close that back off, and then bring the foot down like so. Just bring his arms up, rotate this section around, and then we can just peg the guns into the top here, one there, and the other one round here like this. And here he is in his shark beast monster mode. Oh, I absolutely love it. What a fantastic little guy. And yes, look, you can see his jaw does move. What a great nod to the G1 representation. Really, really, really like that. Love those highlighted eyes there. Just that red. Fantastic. Really, really impressed with the build quality on this. Right, let's just cover his Shark Terror Mode Dino articulation. There is a up and down movement on the head, albeit very, very slight. It is enough of a movement. You've got that really nice opening of the jaw there. You've got a rotation and a swivel on the little monster T-Rex arms. You have a bend at the elbow. The claws, unfortunately, are static. You come round to the legs. You've got this wonderful joints on the legs there, in and out motion. The swivel. You've got a double jointed knee, so you can get him in some really, really nice poses. The foot does bend forward and back as well, and he's got very good stability on these feet. I mean, there's no issues of, let me rock. Yeah, there's no issues of him falling over at all. He's great. I would have liked a little bit of articulation on the tail maybe, but obviously I can forgive that. It's just the way it transforms that would have been completely impossible. And oh, he just looks so good. And here he is with that knockoff Generation 1 Ripper Snapper. Yeah, this is almost like a dinosaur kind of shark thing going on, and I really like it. You know, that is way more terrifying, isn't it? Really does suit the name Terracons. Here he is with Troll in his beast form. Man, these two look so good together. I honestly cannot wait to see what they come out with the rest of Ordin. I know we've had a little bit of teasers here and there, and I think there was a Sinner twin out there as well, wasn't there? And I honestly can't wait. This guy's going to look fantastic. Now, from beast mode, we're going to get him into his limb mode. Now, he is an arm, and of course, Troll was a leg. God, so big and bulky, isn't it? Can't wait until the finished product. First thing we need to do is to unplug these sections here, like so. Just pop those out, and then come around to the front. We're going to just move the head back, like so, and just expand the chest. Just pop that section out, like so. There we go. That fits in there nice and snug, like so. You can then bring this section back forward. There's this flap on the front here. Pop that down and bring this joint round. Oh, it's so tight. There we go. There we go. That's going to be the arm port. Now bear in mind I'm going with no instructions here, so I'm trying to figure out how to do it myself. What you want to do, you want to move these legs back round, and you want to plug those into the sockets there. Make sure that's up enough. And that'll plug in there, he says. Come on. I'm going to make sure that's fully extended. There we go. Pop that in, like so. Then bring the legs round to this position. Rotate them around, like so. Collapse the leg down. Bring this knee over and collapse the foot up on itself, like so, and that fits on there like so. That's basically what the side is going to be. Now, from this point, unplug the tail, just lift that up out of the way for now, and there's actually a hidden sliding joint here which we can wiggle out. Come on, there we go. There's a hidden swivel joint there. We want to rotate that round, like so. And now we've got all of this play here. Let's rotate it like so, and then we can bring this forward section like that. You can now collapse this tail back into the shark tail and pop the shark fin out of the way. And that's near enough there. Just open up the bottom of the legs, slide that peg in, sliding those in and pushing that together. We've now got that hand locked in there nicely, and there we go. That is pretty much the arm mode. I actually really like it. I'm not 100% sure I've done the leg sections here right. It's very difficult without a set of instructions, but what I've got here actually works. It's functional. You've got the rotation joint here on the shoulder, so that'll go up and down. You've got this fantastic hidden ratchet joint which has appeared, with also has its own rotation. Of course, we also have the rotation of the actual what would be the legs as well, which is a really nice touch. And I like that you've got a really nice deep joint there. It's good. It's a really good hand mode in my opinion. I love the actual hand itself, as I covered earlier on. I think it's a really nice sculpt, and I like the fact that we've basically got a full-on shark kind of thing here hanging off the arm. I think that really, really works. I mean, that and the leg itself, he is going to be one big chunky monkey. And just to give you guys an idea of scale for the arm, nearest thing I've got is the new Combiner Wars Superion, and it's definitely going to be bigger. He's going to be, judging by this scale, I'd say about an inch or so bigger than the Combiner Wars set. So, I mean, that's not actually a bad scale. So probably we could have the Combiner Wars against Ordin, I'd imagine. So I think that's going to work. Thanks again to the guys at Robot Kingdom and Unique Toys for getting this shipped out to me so quickly. Yeah, it's a really, really good toy. I really, really like it. I love what Unique Toys are doing at the moment, and they are winning. They really are. I love their stuff, and I'm going to keep buying it. It's all good. Until next time, guys, from myself and Unique Toys DX-9 O-02 Alberich, goodbye.